So the Forest window has closed and we have signed 11 players. But which of these players are going to be good and which are going to be crap? I'm going to give you my thoughts on each of the players and my overall rating on this transfer. Let's get into it. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to the traditional Rate My Transfer Window video, where we get receipts against me and you guys now, because I want you to put in the comment who you think the best player we've signed this season is. I will be looking back at this, so get that done now. And while you're in the comments, please make sure you've hit the like button, subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new, and don't forget, if you've got Netflix and you're living in the UK or outside the USA, make sure you get yourself Surfshark, where you can then change your location to be in America on whatever device you have Netflix on, and that will unlock all their box sets and their films as well. Scan the QR code or click on the link in the pinned comments and make sure you use code FFTV for 4 months extra for free. Okay, let's jump into this. Alright, so I'm going to rattle through these players. Obviously, 2 went to the Greeks, so we're not going to bother with them. I think I've roughly got them in chronological orders. You can play along with me as you're watching. Chuck them in the comments what you think about each one. So the first one through the door is Eric de Silva, and I think this was a cracking signing. A young gun with huge potential, and only for just over £1 million. And already for me, I think is good enough not only to be in the matchday squads, but potentially challenging the likes of Nico Williams for that right back position. I'm giving this signing straight off the bat, straight out the chute, a 9 out of 10 on value, on potential, and already what I've seen of him and what we know of him. This one has to be a 9 out of 10. You guys, if you don't agree with me, let me know why down below. Alrighty then, next up is Carlos Miguel, the giant, the 6'8" Brazilian, coming in with interesting circumstances. We know he had an injury. We know the Corinthians fans, or the Corinthians fans, absolutely turned on him, calling him Judas and all kinds of names. And Forest secured him for about €3.5 million or pounds, whichever one it was. It was still quite cheap, but this one is still a risk. I know Nicky's in love with him. I know Nicky would do, well, I can't say what Nicky would do with him, but he loves him. I love him too, but he is still technically a risk. His kicking, we know, isn't that great. His shot stopping is, and he gets down low quite quickly. He's a good keeper, but he's untested. Now, value-wise, you have to say it's cheap as chips. Risk-wise, you have to say this one's quite high. I still would start him in goal because I think he's going to be, and maybe is better than Sells right now. I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10. But I don't think we can judge him until we've seen more games from him. Anyone who's doing a Nicky here and just jumping to conclusions, I say slow down, slow down. Well, I think we should have still gone for Kelleher, or we should have got Ramsdale. One of those keepers would have come straight in, and that would have ended any kind of debate that we're still having. Sells, Miguel, Sells. No one's saying Turner. But if one of those 2 other keepers came in, they would have come straight in at number 1 for me. So I love Miguel. I think he's been brilliant. He's got a little bit of that Samba in him as well. But what do you guys think? Do you agree with me or not? Okay, Milenkovic. He's a 9. I don't need to say any more about him. Brick. Come in, he's been solid, good value at 12 million, nice height, fixes our aerial issues from dead balls and corners, one of the highest aerial success rates in Serie A. Do I need to say any more? He's a 9. He's just a 9. I can't see you lot arguing with me. Maybe some of you will say 10. But if any of you say 8 and below, oh, we're going to have some words. Get them in the comments. Now, probably the most controversial signing this window has been Mr. Anderson, Neo, the one from Newcastle, who Forest paid Everyone thought £35 million until we told you nothing near that amount. With Vlachodimos going for about 22 million, Anderson coming the other way, this was about 13 to 15 million pounds. And already on the pitch for me, he has made a huge claim to that number 8 position. It was clear that he shouldn't really be playing as a left winger, even though he can. He wants to play as a number 10, still untested there. But from what I've seen of him in the 8 position, he's been doing some cracking work. For me, man of the match in at least 1 or 2 of the previous few games. And I like him. And at that price, and the fact that he's homegrown and helps us with that quota, I'll give this one, I'm tempted to say a 9, but I don't want to give I'll give it an 8 out of 10. But in my mind, I'm thinking a 9. Do you guys agree or not? Let me know down below. All right, let's move on to the Portuguese Grealish. And just like looking ahead to the numbers I'm feeling here, this is feeling quite happy clappy. And it feels a little weird to me right now, but don't worry. If you're looking for controversy, wait till the end, because I got a few things I got to say about what I don't like. But what I do like is definitely Jota. For me, he's in on the right wing ahead of Elanga. I'm sorry, say Elanga agenda all you want. I ain't going to deny it. Not agenda against him. It's an agenda against his ability. And I've seen more ability from Jota. And Jota needs to start. I love his passion. I love what he can do on the ball. I love that he's versatile in the 3 or 4 different positions he can play. I kind of just love him in general. I am indeed a happy clapper. Get your happy clapper juice out. I'm going to give Jota, because of the price we got him at, because of the cheapness and the quality he's got, and he's a passion merchant, he's getting a 9 from me. Argue that in the comments. Okay, let's talk about Sosa. Now, Sosa for me, I think is a good player. What I didn't like about Sosa was the freaking length it took to bring him in. I got bored of the Sosa transfer. He's on the plane, on his way to the training ground. Freaking U-turn, mid-flight, send him back. Forest can't agree a price. Forest have lied on a price. Forest are not sticking to their original agreement. Blah, 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 blah. And on it went. Now, this is no fault of Sosa's whatsoever. But I still do wonder, how does he fit into the team? Has he come into Forest to bench warm? Is he happy with that? Because Callum Hudson-Odoi is still established as the number 1 on that left wing. Or is Sosa here to challenge Elanga and Jota on the right-hand side? I don't know. What I do know is I like what I saw of him against Wolves. I like the player in general beforehand. But god damn it, did this saga drag out. So what we paid for him, what he can offer, I like. But how does he fit in? He's a 7 for me. 7? What do you guys reckon? Am I just being a baby because of how long it took? Did you guys get sick of the Sosa saga? Let me know down below. All right, let's talk about Alex Morena. And I made no secret that I didn't like him. Well, not him personally, just the transfer crap around him. Because of the letter that he sent to the Betis fans before he was joining, but how he freaking showed Forest some cleavage there. No, I'm coming. No, I'm not. I want to stay. I love Betis. And then it's like 6 months later, hi Villa, I'm here now. Screw the Betis fans. And then when this all came about, he said he was happy at Villa. So there's all this baggage coming with him. But in terms of the player himself as a footballer, he's a quality footballer. I like him. I like how he attacks. I thought against Newcastle, he was clearly a cut above a lot of what we've had there, apart from Lodi. Lodi, I miss you, bro. I miss you. So I like him as a player. Now, this is a loan deal, obviously, and I think there's an option to buy, but no obligation. But he's just too old. This is not a long-term solution for the left-back situation. So I'm going to mark this slightly down because I'm an arrogant little prick, right? But he makes my first team. I'll give this one, just to spice the numbers up, 6. But he's really an 8, isn't he? He's an 8 out of 10. But I'm going to put 6. What do you guys think? JWP, the free kick sensation, the person who's going to break David Beckham's record, most likely at the City Ground, on most free kicks scored in the Premier League. This is not a signing I was interested in if Forest were going to buy him. But him as a loan signing is absolutely fantastic because he solves our issue of not scoring free kicks. It's been, what, 2.5 years since we saw that infamous free kick from Jesse Lingard against Blackburn in the League Cup that he unpurposely deflected off 2 Blackburn players to flat-foot the keeper and get it into the back of the net. That is the last direct free kick Forest have scored. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments down below. I like this signing, but I don't know how he fits in. Who do you drop? Do you drop Anderson from the 8 to put him in the 8? Do you drop Sangare in the 6 and kind of play him in the 6, even though I don't think he's a 6? Do you drop Morgan Gibbs-White and put him in the 10, even though I don't think he's a 10? How does he fit in? Answers on a postcard, please. Well, or just put them in the comments down below. So this signing, because of the low risk it is, because we didn't buy a 30-odd-year-old for it, because of what he can offer, is a different dynamic and solves a problem. He's a 9 out of 10. He's a 9 out of 10. But if we'd bought him, I'd have put him as a 6. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. And then let's talk about the final Brazilian that we brought in, and that is Morato. Morato, the left centre-back, brought in for a decent amount of money. And I thought for a second when this first came through, that is Murillo going to go? But luckily that didn't happen. So I was able to breathe normally again. How does he work? I don't know. Could this be for a back 3 formation? Maybe against Liverpool and some of the other sweaty teams that we got coming up. Maybe Nuno's lining this up as a back 3. Morato, Murillo, and then Milenkovic, with maybe Murillo stepping into a CDM position out of the back 3. Maybe that's what he's looking at. But is he a first team player? For me, not quite yet. But he is very good. He's very aggressive in the tackle. I don't mind this one, but I'll be honest with you, it didn't blow me away. I'll give him a 6 out of 10, but he is a very, very good defender. What are your thoughts on him? So that's the players, but how do I feel about the actual transfer window? I've seen people saying this is the greatest transfer window in living Forest memory. This window was so sensible, so well organized, so well structured. And I'm like, really? Nah. There are elements to what I just said that I do agree. It was professional, it was strategic, but the best ever transfer window, not quite there with this one. Why? Because we did not get a striker. In fact, there was a scattergun approach when it came to striker. Oh, Eddie, what have you done for me lately? Oh, we're not going to pay you that much? Snubs us. Jimenez, he is coming. I don't want to come. All right, we'll go back to him again. I told you first time, I don't want to come. Don't worry, Jimenez. We're going to send you out a delegation. We'll get Nuno on the phone to you. We'll get Marinakis Jr. on the phone to you. And there's Jimenez saying, how many times do I have to tell you I ain't coming? And then there was the panic with Omar Marmoush. Deal's nearly agreed, and he doesn't want to come. What was it about Forest that strikers did not like? Look at the wingers we've got. Look at the midfield we've got. They will supply you with chances. So, for me, not getting a striker is a big, big negative on this transfer window. Getting the right wingers in, I'm pleased with. I probably would have wanted another goalkeeper, if I'm being honest. But outside of that, it has been a sensible and a productive transfer window. But it's not a 10 for me. It's not a 9. I've got this transfer window because I worry if Chris Wood gets injured, if Taiwo can't re-find any of his Bambi on ice form, how and where are we going to get the goals from? Are we going to rely on Callum Hudson-Odoi to cut in and do his cheat code over and over again? Hasn't been working, if we're honest, this season so far. Are we going to rely on Elanga? I can't see him getting too many. So if it's not Chris Wood scoring, where's that supply of goals coming from? It will need to be Morgan Gibbs-White. He'll need to step up with a double figures in terms of goals and assists this season. Maybe more so on the goals than the assists. Maybe he needs a 10-goal season with 6, 7, 8, 10 assists. Who knows? but I worry about the goals because I can't see Chris Wood and Taiwo both staying fit this season. So I'm going to give this transfer window a 7 out of 10. If we had got a striker, and as long as his name didn't start with Eddie, this would have been an 8 or a 9, 100%. And if we'd got a Ramsdale or a Kelleher, then you're getting close to 9.5s for me. That's why I'm going with a 7. Just my opinion, you may agree or not. As always, let me know in the comments down below. And if you didn't catch it already, we did the premiere of Beat the Drop yesterday. And Everton Mike was able to get a lot off his chest. I wonder what he rates Everton's transfer window as. If you haven't already, please don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. Go check out Beat the Drop if you haven't seen it already. And we'll see you on the next video. Come on, you Reds.